Okay, so I need you to explain something to me. You're a Harvard MBA. You manage other people's businesses for a living, and you can't figure out how to post on Instagram?
Yes, that would be correct.
I love you. Welcome to the show. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. I'm Rachel Ferrell, and you're listening to podcast name. Today, I have one of my favorite humans on the show, Katie Coleman. Katie is a fractional COO. She's finishing up a Harvard Business School MBA, and she's the kind of person who will walk into the chaos of your business and just fix it. Katie, thank you for being here today.
Wow. Thank you for having me. And thank you for such a beautiful introduction.
Thank you for such a beautiful introduction.
I've been really, you're welcome. I've actually really been looking forward to this for the whole 10 minutes that I've known about it.
It really has been. I pulled Katie in last minute, but for good reason. Okay. I really do want to read through this entire thing, but you know what? I think we're just going to talk. I'm so excited. Okay. I am so excited that you're here. And I have been excited all day thinking about asking you if you want to be on the show. And so
that was premeditated?
It was. Well, I had asked Trent because I didn't know if you were going to be here or not.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if you were going to be here or not. So I was like, Trent.
Excuse my coughing.
Unrelated reasons to the cough.
It's totally not that.
And so I was like, maybe Trent will be on the show and we can talk about joy. Because I've been doing this thing lately where I have a new intro for my classes, okay?
Okay.
And
let's hear it.
I am Happy Go Social, right? And joyful marketing is sort of our like slogan. And I thought every class I need to open it up by talking about how if you can find the joy in your business, if you can like approach things with curiosity, if you can have like a lot of excitement around what it is that you're doing, then you should be able to have a lot of fun. And most people don't have fun on social media because they're not talking about what they do anymore. They're like putting on a persona. Like I am a real estate agent and I'm supposed to be talking about content pillars X, Y, and Z instead of I'm a real estate agent passionate about this topic and I have like a lot of joy in my business and I'm translating that online. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I love that.
Right. I feel like it was so inspirational. Sometimes I stumble over my words though and it doesn't come out.
No, that's great.
But that is what I thought Trent and I could talk about today. And maybe I'll just have to prep him for the next time because what I
think you should still do that.
I want to talk about today is about how even though you could have a lot of joy in what you do, it doesn't take away the antithesis of joy, the complete opposite of joy, which is systems and structures for me. There is no joy in systems. I don't brush my teeth the same way twice.
Is that true?
It is true.
And never at the same time?
Never at the same. And my husband will tell you, he will say, what time of day do you brush your teeth? And I'm like, whatever time of day it feels like they need to be done. I will do it twice. It is never at the same time.
I feel like that gives a lot of like freedom and flexibility though, that you need to just like trust yourself. I trust myself to know when my teeth need to be cleaned.
Yes.
So that's when I do them.
When they smell a little funny.
When I can smell my own teeth is when they get brushed.
Time to brush my teeth. That's gross. So you should still work with me. I think that it is, yes, it does offer a lot of flexibility. However, when there are things that do not have a lot of flexibility that enter your world, it becomes a little bit of a cognitive dissonance, a little physical dissonance sometimes too, where I'm like trying to do something and I know like I'm going to get it done or it'll eventually get done or whatever. And then I have something or someone that's like waiting for it. And then it puts me into, you know, a functional freeze. I don't want to because I'm afraid that it's not going to be, am I going to brush my teeth right? If I do it, I know that you're relying on me to brush my teeth right now. Am I going to do it the right way? Well, I have brushed all of them if I do it. Do you know what I mean?
How do you determine what right is?
Oh, I don't. It's just in my heart.
It's the anxiety about worrying over it.
It is. My therapist likes to call it anticipatory anxiety.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? I love it when he assigns things to me.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does, but it's like the anticipation of the event or the thing. So like I have the anxiety over the thinking about it happening instead of the actual event. And usually the event is fine. Like I know how to brush my teeth.
Right.
Know? I might not do it the same way twice, but it gets done. It's just, you know. But when you're trying to run a business, that's not always helpful.
Well, that's why you build out a team of people that have the complete opposite skill sets that you have.
I cannot believe how excited I am that I have literally talked about you nonstop for the past 7 days.
Really?
You could look up, if you type in COO and Katie in my phone, like for messages, it's like, here's 700 messages that she has sent. I have a friend and she's getting my life together. I'm so excited because my problem has always been, and what I think like the plight of a real estate agent, you know, we're all kind of the same. Yes, we're different, but we're all kind of the same. None of
Sure.
us can have a boss, you know?
Right.
Like we want to be held to a standard, but we want to be the one holding the standard.
Sure.
I don't want anybody else doing it. But in doing that, you're running your own business. And of course, there's like, KW has this thing moving from E to P, moving from entrepreneurial, I can never say that word right, to purposeful. And like I have all of the skill sets of somebody who could be a really good entrepreneur, but I am not always purposeful in what I'm doing. So like my like ceiling of achievement in real estate for a while was like 12 to 15 transactions. It was all I could do just because year.
Okay.
So it was like, that was it. I mean, with homeschooling and with everything else that I have going on, I couldn't kind of get past that like level until I brought a TC in. And then when I brought my TC in, now I'm consistently like a 21 to 25. I don't know that I want to do much more than that. It's like just about the cap of my willingness to expend energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make sure that I give really good quality work. However, I am just not good at the TC stuff. And I think it turned out that was the stuff that was keeping me from being able to actually go out and get more business, to do the thing that I'm good at, which is talking to people and networking and like bringing them into the fold and let's go and do the thing together. So I've been experiencing that again. And you know this good and well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry on the podcast today.
I think you have a really good way of explaining a problem that a lot of people run into. Someone else today I just spoke to had the exact same problem that you're describing right now. And that is we try to do everything on our own when we're running our business and when we're a solopreneur.
Mm-hmm.
We try and do everything on our own, get burned out. We do things that are not in our zone of genius. And then we hit our ceiling. And then we wonder why we can't be doing more, why we can't grow, why we can't scale. And then a lot of people, the knee jerk, right? When you're in this situation, you're in the day-to-day, you're putting out fires constantly, you're constantly busy, you're constantly like up to your eyeballs. And you're doing work that isn't fulfilling and usually isn't the type of work that you got into business for yourself to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not in your zone of genius. It's not what you want to be doing. It doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't give you energy. And you're spending a lot of time doing all of that, right? And then a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction is to take that and then say, what's wrong with me?
Ugh. That's where you had me the other day. That's where you had me, because I do ask that question often. There's got to be something wrong. There's something that's just not clicking. And I have somebody that I love very dearly, my mother. And she and I are basically the same person, except she's far more organized than me. Son of a biscuit. Michaela, the editor.
McKenna.
Poor
McKenna. She's been called everything today.
It's fine.
Great. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if it was in the shot or not. So that's why I was like,
totally fine. I'm pretty sure it was covered.
We can cut that out.
Okay. What were you talking about? My mom. What did he say?
What? No. I think he said no.
The real test of whether or not Trent is paying attention to the podcast is if he responds when you ask him a question. Okay. So, what were we saying?
You were talking about your mother.
Okay. So my mom and I are basically the same person, but she's far more organized than me. What was I? Why were we saying that?
Sorry. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm glad
totally
you
threw
said
us
that
off
and
the
that I
rail.
didn't do that like until the end. Zone of genius.
Mm-hmm.
What's
wrong with me?
What's wrong with me? Right. That was
And your
it.
mom, you and your mom are the same person, but she's more organized than you.
Yes.
In theory.
So she, probably in theory, she would ask me like, well, Rachel, you're just going to have to buckle down and do it. Like, you just have to do it. You just have to do the thing. Like, some things just have to be done. And I get it. Some things do have to be done. But how long can you live in this land of, I just need to buckle down and do it, before all of the joy is just completely zapped out of your life?
Exactly.
I just can't do it for that long.
Are you familiar with strengths Clifton Strengths.
Yes.
I know you are. That's right. We've talked
Yes.
about this. Okay. For anyone that may not be aware, Clifton Strengths is an assessment you can take. It gives you a list of 34 strengths from the most strengthful for you, your highest strengths to your lowest level of strengths. Some might even venture to call them weaknesses. The reason that they do this is so that you can see what you're naturally talented at and good at and where your area of strengths lie. So that you can then put yourself in situations to use those strengths, right? Like you, and if there's something really important to you that is considered a weakness, like you can do things to adjust for that. Yes. But something that's your 34th strength is never going to become your number one, right? Like you want to focus on your top 10 or so strengths so that you can then utilize those in a setting that it like fulfills you. It'll make you be able to do things you're already good at, right? And it'll make you happy, fulfilled. Like it's just all about like using your strengths. And if you're constantly in a setting, in a situation, an environment where you're having to do things that are not in your zone of genius and are not your strengths, it is a recipe for burnout.
The zone of genius thing really got me. I was going to try and pull up my strengths because all of them are like it's woo.
Yeah.
And like almost all of them are communication driven, and anything that is like organizational is literally last place.
Ours are literally opposite.
Which is why I love you. I mean, I love you for
too.
more than just your Clifton strengths assessment, but also like I just think that I have constantly felt like, again, like there was something wrong. Maybe there's a medication that could fix it, you know, because there's a little bit of ADHD happening here. But genuinely, I think when you and I start really digging into kind of helping each other the way that I think we're, you know, planning on it, I think that I could almost probably get off of. It's like I have to take care of it somehow. And the way that I have found to be able to take care of the things that I don't like to do is with ADHD, just to be able to, you know, medicate the ADHD.
Yeah, I think that the why behind why you don't like to do them is important here, because the other thing I want to point out is that a lot of people internalize, I don't like to do this as I'm lazy. Or I don't feel like I'm good at this. And why can't I make myself buckle down and do this thing that I hate to do? I must be lazy. There must be something wrong with me. I must have ADHD, or I do have ADHD, and it's the ADHD part of me that doesn't want to do this because it requires XYZ that I don't have. That's all bullshit. Am I allowed to cuss on this podcast?
Because I'm like, yes, it is.
That is bull. The thing is everybody has things that they're gifted at. Everybody has things that fill them up. Everybody has things that don't. And for everything for you that doesn't fill you up, there's somebody that absolutely just lives for it. If it's paperwork, if it's taking notes, if it's transaction coordinating.
Yes.
There are people that love that kind of stuff, that couldn't imagine having to talk for a living, that couldn't imagine woo being one of their top strengths. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I would, if I could do one thing every single day for the rest of my life, it would be, so I just left the Nashville Music City Market Center and I taught lead magnets and a little bit of the story brand guide during their team meeting. And it was like 45 minutes. I could have done that for like 5 hours.
Yes.
Like that could have been my
gave
entire day. If I could do that every single day. And never have to make a call to like book the appointment to do the thing. Like it makes me nervous to have to call and say, hey, can I please come and do, I mean, I know that I have to do that in order to get the opportunity, but
for now,
it is
not forever.
Not forever. I hope not forever. I mean, just to be able to like go into the room and share the thing and see, it's not just like the ahas. I feel like that's such the classic teacher answer, to be like, I love it whenever the entire room goes, aha, she taught me something new. Like more than anything, what I try and teach specifically real estate agents is that there is so much to learn from your clients. If you are not having fun posting on social media, it's because you're probably manufacturing problems. And manufactured problems are fun for nobody. Like it's just unnecessary drama. when your clients have real problems and you have real guidance to like real solutions, that is life-giving. That is fun to be able to look at somebody and say, you needed $40,000 to get to the closing table. Fun fact, here are the ways that we can shape this. Are you in? And they're the ones that actually make the decision. I can help guide them to the $40,000 and whatever. But they're the one who ultimately says yes. And I get to celebrate that with them. Same thing in the classroom. Like as we are talking and sharing, to be able to learn and hear and like see real time the evolution of messaging and marketing and social media, and to get to be like a part of that, to be like, guys, I'm like running the race too. I might research it more or have a little bit more like ability to maybe translate it into something teachable, but like we're literally in this together. Is so much fun. I could do it every day.
And if that's how you feel, that's where you need to focus, because that is the only thing that's going to guarantee your long-term success as an entrepreneur. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is like they beat themselves up over not being able to do everything in their business all the time forever. They hit their ceiling and then they're like, I'm broken because I can't do everything that 2 or 3 people outside of me should be doing. Right.
So how do you manage up to the point to where you can finally make like the first hire? At what point do you say the walls are caving in, it's time to go?
I think if you are at that point where you're approaching burnout, right? You look at yourself and you're like, my days are constantly overcrowded. I have no time to rest. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly sacrificing things that are important to me for other things. I am not fulfilled by the work that I'm doing. Is the work that I'm doing actually making money for my business as well? So am I doing things that are mission critical towards revenue generation for my business? Or am I doing everything and spinning my wheels? Am I holding up the walls and barely making it through the day, right? Like if you're in that position, it's a feeling more so than it is a thought process, right? Like you feel when you're burning out. And sometimes we don't notice it until we're like crashing out, dying.
Right.
Like
yes,
your
there's
body
no more
shuts down
breath
on
to
you.
exhale. Like it's all gone.
Yes. Like that. But if that's where you're at, that it's time for help.
Yeah.
And I think as women, it's hard, and just people in general, not even just women necessarily, but like if you're used to being everything for everybody, mom, wife, sister, daughter, niece, whatever, employee, employer, whatever, business owner, homeschool mom, real estate agent, wearing every hat, it's so easy to not look up and realize like, oh yeah, I do actually need some help.
Yes. It is hard because you're so busy putting your head down and just doing the thing to get to the end of the day.
Yes.
And then to be able to wake up and do. And I think there's this illusion that we have with AI, and I love AI.
And you're good at it.
It's one of my favorite tools, but at the end of the day, AI does not have the judgment that somebody like you has. And while I think that I've kept the walls up for a while, partly because I've got some good hires with maybe not like a lot of strategic thinking behind me, like I need to be thinking more strategically about the business and the North Star. You had said that and I loved that. I kept trying to think like, what is my North Star? So I have, a couple of VAs that help me out. And then I have ChatGPT, which will help with some systems. And it very clearly knows, like, I need a director of operations. And so on paper, it creates this beautiful thing and this identity. And I try to follow it. But I cannot train to something I'm not good at. I can't look at that output from ChatGPT and say with confidence, like the nuance in this fact to my brand and my business is this.
Yeah. Yeah. And you weren't supposed to. That's the beauty of this is like, if you were an expert at that, right? Like something else would be traded off on the other side. Like you probably wouldn't love speaking like you do and teaching like you do, or, insert other thing that you love to do here. Right? Yeah. Like you're not supposed to be all things to your business. You're supposed to be the visionary, the founder, the idea person.
Yes.
And you provide the North Star. And then ideally, right, it gets to the point where you have the team that can come in and execute the plan.
Yes.
But you need a plan. It's kind of like this came to me today, actually. I was talking to my coach at the school. Excuse me.
You're fine.
It's like building a building, right? Somebody, you decide, I want to build a building. How do I build a building? Right? We find the plot of land. You have the idea, right? Like, I want a building that looks like
in my mind, I was
this.
like cement. That's how we build a building.
Yes. I want cement.
Yes.
I want 50 rooms. I want, it to be able to do this, this, and this. And I want it to be this tall relatively. And I want it to be able to do this. Like, I want to build a hotel that everybody can come to, that people will be able to enjoy their vacation in, and it'll provide all this joy, and it'll provide, all this art that we'll bring in, and it'll be very modern and luxurious, or whatever it looks like, right? Like, you have the vision for the experience that your customers will experience.
Yes.
And you have the vision for what type of building you want to build. But you don't then go and become an architect and go to architect school and then figure out how to draw up blueprints.
Right.
And figure out how civil engineering works, and then figure out how construction works.
Oh my gosh.
And then bring in a team that's going to like do the actual like cement pouring and then oversee that. No,
but I do. I don't. I'm not good at it. Becoming the architect is not what I should be doing, but that's what I've been trying to do.
Correct. You've been trying to be the person that has the idea for the building. You've been trying to be the architect drawing up the plans. And you've been trying to be like the structural engineer, project manager, construction company. You've been the cement
home inspector come in.
Yeah, girl.
They're going to be like,
of course. You're trying to do 100 people's jobs.
Yes. Okay, so I find this so interesting too, and this could just be revealing of my judgmental nature. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this one out there. I remember being in positions where higher ups, people who are in visionary positions, were incapable of doing like
anything,
little minute tasks. Right, all of this stuff, and I remember being
frustrated.
Oh, yeah, so frustrated. But in hindsight, I'm sitting here thinking, all right, little Rach, I wish you could take just a step back outside of yourself and realize that it takes many people to get to the finish line. And if that person truly knew how to open a Word document, maybe we should learn how to do that. If that person could truly do that, then what gift do they have that is not going to be able to be shared? Like they were hired for a specific purpose, and it was not to be able to be an expert in Word documents. Like that was your job as an admin. Now, I am not an administrative assistant. And so I feel like maybe the discomfort that I was feeling at the time was just because I'm not good at that job. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at that through a different difficult lens. So I guess I'm going to round back to the reason why I'm saying that. As somebody who is now in the position of that person, like I am terrified that I'm going to make hires or that I'm going to do something in such a way that somebody's going to look at me and be like, she can't even open a Word doc. So I feel like there are days where I try to understand how the architecture works, how the, project oversight, whatever all of that is, just so that I can save myself from the heartache of somebody saying, do you even know what you're doing?
But you do know what you're doing. And that's the thing is like, you don't need to know how to open a Word doc. You need to know how to make the money. You need to know how to do the skills that are bringing in the revenue. You need to know how to do the things that your business is running for. You need to be able to cast vision, and you need to be able to inspire a team to work towards that vision. That's what you need. And I think, if I may, it sounds like when you were an admin, you were frustrated because they were probably making a lot of money, a lot more than you, and not working as hard as you because their job was to talk.
And that fits my zone of genius, if you will.
Yes. And you knew that you were more than an admin assistant because you am.
But I mean, I think that just hits to the heart of humility, where you sit and you hear that and you see that. And I do sometimes see that. I mean, completely transparently, there are times where I'm like, I could do that better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm the right person to be in that spot. But I do definitely see what you're saying in that I would have had an easier time in that particular role rather than the one that I was in.
Yeah.
Because the one that I was in required spreadsheets and doing the same thing every single day. And I'm not very good at doing that.
Well, and I think what to take from that is recognizing when you're not in the right seat on the bus, right? When you're not in a seat that uses your gifts and talents and skills and strengths to their advantage,
How
to
do
their most
you
potential.
make sure, though, that everybody feels... I just would not want to be the person who is the visionary that looks at the admin and says that it's a less than. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's not. I mean, it's not, because that visionary that doesn't know how
I
to
couldn't do it. I would not be
Exactly.
able to do what what I think I can do. I will not be able to do without the admin team that I'm envisioning.
Yes. And that's full circle, right? Back to gifts, your zone of genius.
Yeah.
Like, and it takes both to make the world go round.
Man, that's crazy. I love that. I think, being able to manage people is a challenge. I have a tendency with my clients and even with like people that I hate saying working for me, but people that work for me, making things really comfortable for them so that I don't even know the answer to that question. Do you know what I mean? That like,
Yes.
if I'm going to grow, I know that I have a specific North Star that I need to get to, but I don't want to sacrifice the comfort of the people who are on my team to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, unfortunately, I'm in kind of a strange spot where that sacrifice is a requirement. And if I don't do it, then none of us are going to be able to see the growth and the goodness that could potentially come from it.
Yeah, I think the question I would ask to that is, do you have people in the right seats? Because if you're not able to trust someone with owning outcomes, then that doesn't really take much off your plate.
Gotcha.
If you're just like offloading tasks to someone that's taking them, like that's different than trusting someone else to own outcomes and being able to delegate an entire like ownership of outcomes to someone.
That I find so interesting because it's the busyness versus business.
Like moving the needle.
Right. Am I actually, the number of times where I've looked at my husband and I've said, I have worked nonstop all day today, but I can't tell you a single thing that I did.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? There are things that, there's like the Pareto principle, the 80-20, where 20% of what you do gets you 80% of the results.
Sure.
But then in my mind, I think, well, there's still 80% that needs to be done. Who's going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I ask to get that done? I struggle with asking the question.
Asking for
can
help?
You please do this? It's not just asking for help. It's knowing clearly the difference between receiving output for the sake of output and receiving outcomes.
Do you trust your team?
I trust my team. I don't trust myself to be clear enough with my team for them to know what the outcome should be. Does that make sense? I think with the right instruction, it's like ChatGPT with humans. Like the more input you give ChatGPT, the better output you get. But if you're going to ask it a garbage question, it's going to give you a garbage response. And it's not because the system is bad. It's because the input was bad. And as somebody who frankly, the last 6 months brought employees on who had like a very specific way of doing things themselves, and with a business that has, kind of a moving trajectory. We're a little bit of a shooting star right now, as we're figuring things out. It's slowing down. I feel like we're narrowing in on where we're supposed to go.
Good.
But I don't even know what to ask to be done. And so I give tasks that almost feel like busy work just to make sure that the satisfaction is there.
Like that they have the hours that they need.
Right. Instead of creating the actual output that's going to do what I need to get done. So I have a coach too. She's wonderful. Her name's Kristen. She's a MAPS coach with KW. And we got on a call 2 weeks ago and I just told her, like, I want to do these cohorts. I have got to come up with a better name for this, but these cohorts where we meet weekly and we talk about messaging. I want to help people unpack, like, this is the conversation you had with your clients. This is how you can turn it into that joy-filled, conversation online.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I was leaving the conversation with her to go to a team meeting and talk about essentially the same thing in front of a group of real estate agents. And she said, I don't care that you don't have like this complete idea done. I want you to invite them to be a part of cohort. See who would want to be involved. Tell them you want to do a 4-week messaging, whatever. It was $250. I gave a discount code, I think, while we were there. And by the end of it, I had 10 people signed up.
That's great.
I had nothing though. Like, sorry.
That's
I had
sales.
nothing. That's sales. I can do that. And I get so hung up in the, what should I have done? What should I have created? There needs to be a workflow and a system behind it. I don't think that the people that I have in place are the right fit for creating the workflow, but I think they are absolutely the right people for executing it. And so right now what we're missing is we have visionary, driver, like I'm all over the place all the time. I don't have time to sit down and just like deep dive something in a computer.
Yeah.
I have the ability to say, hey, I need this piece of content or this idea or this whatever done. And they have the ability to do that. But it's this like connecting piece to say, after the meeting, this is what happens. And then this is the workflow.
Yeah.
I don't
You
want to
need
think
an
about it.
integrator.
I need an integrator. I need
do.
a Katie Coleman.
Well, here I am, baby. Woo!
I'm
Talk
yours.
to me in July.
I know. Listen, I'm so excited.
No, me too. So to go back, it is an issue of not having the right people in the right seats on the bus.
Yeah.
Because, or maybe you have the right people in their seats, but you're still missing a seat.
I think I'm missing a seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it sounds like you need that higher level leadership, and if you're familiar with an integrator, right? And the visionary integrator partnership, but that's exactly what you're describing is the visionary, right? You know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone that can lead the team to make it happen, the execution piece.
Yes.
While also owning the outcome and not you having to be the one that's checking in and doing the detail stuff and doing the organized stuff.
Yes.
Like you need to be able to
I need my husband.
do your thing, right?
That's why the laundry gets done. That's why the dishes get done.
Yeah.
It's because he's the one that does that. And he doesn't complain about it. He's fine with it. Like if I had that partner in my business, in the, the happy go social world, I know we can do such great big things.
Yeah.
And I have the ability to get the sales happening if the clients are willing to, realize that there's a little bit of growth happening. And I don't think anybody's ever disappointed on the other side.
Right.
I just know that client experience and the, smoothness of the entire thing would be so much better if I had an integrator.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, just really narrowing in on what it is that I tell people all the time they need to simplify. And yet I struggle with simplifying. Do I really want to do content creation? No.
So one thing I run into a ton all the time when I'm talking to entrepreneurs is like it's a blessing and a curse, but entrepreneurs are creative. They're driven. They're go-getters. They see something and can like take an idea or something in front of them and then see the million of possibilities of what it could be, right? The problem is that a lot of times they want to do all million of them at the same time.
Yes.
And we're doing 15 things when we only have capacity for 3.
Yes.
And we're starting 15 things and finishing 0 and then beating ourselves up because we're finishing 0.
Yes.
When there's room and time for everything, just not all at the same time.
Yes. I love this. I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today that as an entrepreneur, you are surrounded constantly by inspiration.
Yes.
There is a book or an idea or a thing. And you just, I'm telling you, I left last week and I don't know that I texted you this. Maybe I did. I want everybody who meets with me to feel the way that I felt after I left that meeting with you. Because I left thinking, like the dots could be connected, And I have not had that feeling in a really long time. And even meeting with my coach today, talking with her, she was like, you seem really excited right now. And I was like, I think I have a direction. Like, I think this dream that I've had has a direction. It was so funny. My mom texted me a bunch of pictures the other day. And there were like 6 of them. And every single one of them is me at different ages on a stage.
Oh,
Like at Opryland, I was in front of a group of people when my poor brother, when he was born, we were at the hospital and we were doing the hospital tour, and I was like the lead big sister in this big group of whatever. And every single picture was like Rachel on the stage. And I just looked through it and I thought, been this has always been the direction.
yes.
And the harder I fight this, like, you need to be humble, you need to be humble. There's a difference in being arrogant and leaning into the thing that you're good at.
Yes.
And there's not a single time that I feel like I leave a place where I'm teaching or training or having a conversation where I feel like I really think that other person probably thinks I'm completely full of myself. I mean, I don't know, maybe they do. But more often than not, it's a feeling of collaboration. I want to do that more. And I feel like I have continuously not been able to do that. And so again, like having the conversation and being able to say, you're right. Like the book that I read is inspirational and so good, and the answer, because that person is a genius at this topic. It doesn't mean that I'm going to take that book and say, Rachel, now you are a genius at this topic. It just means that I need to find the person who can do it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's where we get caught up. We try to be everything when we don't need to be. We don't need to know everything. We just need to know someone who knows everything.
Yes. I've got a guy.
You have to have a guy.
Yes.
Or a gal.
Absolutely.
Or a something. You're my go-to girl for knowing how to speak on stage. If anyone's like, hey, Katie, do you know anyone that could be a speaker? Yes, Rachel.
Oh my gosh. Do
you know anyone who knows anything about social media? Yes, Rachel. But nobody, no human on the planet, on the face of the earth is going to be the answer to every, hey, do you have a guy or a girl for this?
Right.
No one is. So we keep beating ourselves up for not.
Right.
Instead of just finding someone that can fill the gap
do the thing.
And move on to do the thing that you want to do.
I just want to talk. Let's be honest. I just want to.
And if that's true, that's what you should, because you're good at it, right? So do it.
What I love so much though is that like you have these two pieces and they are equally important. One of them is a little bit more front and center than the other.
Sure.
But like, I think what's so neat is that, like I said, I have so much excitement around what it is that I think you're going to be able to help me do, that like I literally want to stand on the rooftop and be like, Katie Coleman, fix this mess. Outfit brought to you by J. Crew. Organization brought to you by the Katie Coleman. Here it is. Because it's just, I can't be and I can't do without that. And I think there really is just this part of me that wants to make sure that whoever is in my circle knows, like, I can't be and I can't do without them. Okay, so let's transition a little bit because I think it's interesting. Part of the conversation we had, I remember thinking, this isn't a fair trade-off. Like if we're like
so funny to me.
Talking to each other about this stuff, right? You're going to help me with my operations. I'm going to help you with your marketing. We're going to have this like Katie Rachel thing happening.
Beautiful, yes.
And all I could think was, oh my gosh, what I'm doing for you is so easy. I don't know that it's going to be
you have no
valuable
idea.
to you as much as what you're doing is for me. And I remember like sitting there thinking, how ironic, considering she probably thinks the exact same thing.
Literally, yes. Like literally, yes. This kind of stuff is like the kind of like I will wake up in the middle of the night and be like, bing, boom, bang, boom, boom. This is what we need to do for Rachel's business, right? Like, just like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, you need a pink graduation
I need
cap.
to send her an Amazon link right now.
Yes. Like I would never think, and I was amazed, just as amazed as you were when we were coming out of our conversation, because you just rattled off, like I told you 4 or 5 things, right? And you rattled off 10 things that I could do right now, like to accomplish that blew my mind.
I love the ideas that you have though.
Thank you.
I think like what you said, I had said it a little bit earlier where you told me that most people can just Google what it is that you do and have the answer. So what is there to actually share on it? Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, like, I mean, I think I'm probably a little higher than the average ChatGPT user.
Yes,
I probably made it a little bit further than I should have without a DO, but I cannot do it any further without somebody who has the ability to translate what I'm reading into the reality. So there's so much that you can share online about organization and systems and integrators that like people like me really should. I mean, I know I don't get on Instagram. I'm so sorry to flip through and find like the integrators. However, there is going to come a time where I have to find it and I have to research it. And then somebody's going to pop up, Katie Coleman, and say, you don't have to. You really don't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
That's relieving. It's like the influencer versus marketer. Yes. I had somebody in one of our workshops the other day tell me, like, I am so glad that you said I don't have to be an influencer. She's a real estate agent. She's not an influencer.
Yeah.
And we have completely convoluted this idea that influencing and marketing is the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an influencer. You have to market what you do well online. And I think that you are so much fun. Like with the Harvard Business School, like, first of all, that's badass.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mom. And then we have this whole concept of, if you're comfortable with sharing it, what's your idea?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now that I say it out loud, you really have to hold me accountable to doing it.
I was going to hold you accountable to it anyway.
Okay, good. Because one of the things that Rachel's really helping me with is posting on social media. I'm terrible at it, which is so funny. Like, this just comes back to our like complementary strengths, because I hate being visible. Like, I will be in the background behind the scenes all day, every day. And it's actually part of my like calling and like larger like life purpose to step out of that, and then hopefully be able to help other people step out of that. But that's a whole other podcast episode. But anyways, to answer your actual question, like, I want to go through Harvard Business School, graduate in June, which is the plan, and then tell everybody what I didn't learn at Harvard Business School, because it's significant. At Harvard Business School, this program that I'm in, it's a 6-month MBA. So we're packing a 2-year MBA into 6 months. So it's very intense. It's very fast paced, literally hours of work daily that we have to do outside of whatever you're doing the rest of your life. And there are significant things about running a business that are not even mentioned, not even touched on.
It's crazy.
So is that enough of a teaser?
I think it's a fantastic teaser, but I just think that that's what's so perfect. And so the idea here is, and this is the official start of the countdown, that when she graduates, we're going to have a countdown that is the countdown to graduation, the countdown to Katie doing a tell-all of the things that she didn't learn at Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be so much fun, but it's like, it's a brand. It's a thing. You have to be able to, I mean, none of us there's so much in real estate that you didn't learn. You know, it's like you learn how many square feet are in an acre, but you don't learn other much more important things. There's so much that you don't learn in school, but whenever it comes to business, I really do think that everything that we're handed is packaged as like an all-in-one. This is everything that you could possibly need to know. And in reality, no, it's not.
No. Don't get me wrong. There are so many things we did learn, and there was a lot that I have learned from this program. But I'm like looking around like, when are we going to learn this one thing that's absolutely crucial to running a business that school doesn't teach you, business school doesn't teach you, Harvard doesn't teach you? You just have to know.
Oh, I'm so excited. And you will find out in July.
Yes, you will.
After the countdown.
Be there,
with the really cute pictures and
with my pink
graduation hat. I can't wait.
Can't wait either.
Okay, let's see what Claude told us to do. So we totally off tracked, and I do feel like the beginning of this episode was just like a fun little mess. But I think this was just so much fun. The steering wheel versus the engine. We're just gonna have to come back again, I think, because
I think so too.
This one was really fun. I loved the lightning round that Claude gave us. Claude gave us all of this based off of a conversation that we've had in the past. So I record everything. And Katie, I think, pretty much does too. Like, if there is something that can be recorded, it will be recorded, because I'm going to forget. B, everything is content. So how can we turn it into something we could do? So it picked up these questions. So I'm going to start this. Are you on lightning round?
Yes.
Okay.
So fun.
Okay. Lightning round. Let's go. ISFJ or ENFJ? Which one is actually more fun at a party?
Hands down, ENFJ.
I love it.
But the ISFJ will remember everyone's drink order, will hold everyone's hair when they're throwing up. We'll make sure everybody is fed, and we'll make sure that everyone gets home safe and has breakfast in the morning.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Katie's got hair ties and greasy food ready to go. And my drink order changes every time. It is not the same.
There we go.
So good luck, my friend. Harvard MBA or street MBA?
That's a good one. Neither. Both.
Oh, I was thinking Men's Basketball Association.
Oh, MBA.
Well, yeah, I know what an MBA is, but now I
NBA?
understand. MBA. No, I know that what it
street
means
MBA.
that it's supposed to be, but when I heard street, I thought you're either going to go to Harvard for a degree or you're going to play basketball
On the streets.
I'm so sorry. Now that Rachel knows what this says, Harvard MBA or street MBA, what do you think?
I do not have a preference. I think degrees are cool. They're fine and well and good.
Sorry. Nothing replaces experience in basketball on the street.
On these streets, the school of hard knocks. No, I think I haven't found, I'm not an expert, but I have not found anything yet that you couldn't learn from earned experience. And utilizing the people around you, utilizing your resources, using your team, figuring out your gaps and filling them. Whether it's people, like anything can be accomplished. And I don't think you need to be an MBA to do anything.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Except teach collegiate level
Well,
classes.
if you're trying to teach an MBA course, you probably
I would like to
need
teach
one.
an MBA course with no MBA, please. I have a street MBA.
Yeah, does that count?
It does not.
I know basketball.
Right as I
Does
walk
that
in,
count?
like spinning it on
I'm
my
here to
finger.
teach my
I'm
course.
real good at this, I promise. Biggest lie hustle culture ever taught you?
If you want it done right, do it yourself.
I hate that.
It's a trap.
I hate that.
Don't do it.
I want to.
I know that's
want
so
to.
you.
It is
and that's so
me.
all of us because we're driven and
You want it done right. You want it done now. You want it
Yes.
done.
yesterday
Yes.
and at the highest quality.
Yes.
And that's not sustainable.
So tough.
Yes.
So tough.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing you wish every business owner knew before they hit a wall?
This is good. Hire before you're drowning.
Mm.
That's good. Because by the time you're drowning, you can't think clearly enough to hire well. Truth.
No, because you can't breathe.
Mhm.
Oh,
Truth.
that's devastating. Katie, this has been so good. Where can people find you, follow you, stalk you in the most professional sense of the word?
Well, I am on the Instagrams at the Katie Coleman.
Are you the Katie Coleman?
Yes.
Shut up. I'm the Rachel Ferrell.
Are you?
Yes.
I actually changed that, I think, after we last talked.
Did you?
It was either right before or right after.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's
you were
so
the
funny.
inspiration.
We didn't even know it. You probably didn't even know it. Maybe you did.
No, I didn't know that was your handle, but like I don't
Oh, I think it's
remember if I
perfect.
changed it right after we talked or right before, but it was right around.
That's going to be like the tell of the mid 2020s.
Yeah, like, you know
is
you're a millennial
the, if you have the in front of your name and think it's cool. Sorry, Gen A.
Well, I
Z.
tried to not
What
have
are
it.
they? Who's behind us? Gen Z.
Z.
Gen A is my kids.
Gen
oh
Alpha.
gosh, really?
Gen
Bless
Alpha.
y'all.
Oh my gosh, they're coming.
Yes.
The kids that have never known a world without the internet or tablets or mobile devices
I cannot
or
imagine
screens of any kind.
the future of. That's a whole other. I have so many thoughts on that.
I know.
I think this was so much fun. For it to be such an ad hoc episode, like I just feel like you're going to be a reoccurring guest. Watch out,
Really?
Trent. Here she comes.
I can't wait. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. See y'all next week.